Hello and welcome to GFaction. In this video I'm going to show you my own set of key bindings that will help you in this game to avoid this message popping up on your screen every 5 minutes. Be aware that this video is for those who use mouse and keyboard, as it is said in the title of the video, so if you're using a controller, I'm sorry to say that this video is not for you. Anyways, let's get to it. The Witcher 3 doesn't have a bad key bindings in its default mode, but a few keys should really be changed because changing these keys can help you to be more efficient in a fight, especially if you are playing in this much difficulty. At first I'm going to explain why I'm telling you to use this key binding and explain the reason why I'm using it myself. If you don't want to watch this part, you can skip right ahead to the next part of the video where I show you the key binding itself. So first things first, think that this is your keyboard, and let's think that your hand is on WASD right now, as it is most of the time while you're playing the game, right? So while your fingers are on WASD, you can only use certain keys on your keyboard without moving your hand too much. Not moving your hand too much can help you in certain situations, for example in fights, as it helps you to be faster in pressing the keys that actually matter in a fight. So you would want to choose the buttons that are near WASD and are more accessible for more important things in the game. Now with this being said, we are looking for a key binding that covers the keys that you will be using in intense situations like fights without moving your hand too much, so you can be as efficient as possible and make it easier for you to do important things in a fight with ease. For example, dodging, counter-attacking, attacking, using signs, changing your signs and other things like that. Because think of this, think that you are in a fight and your enemy is trying to attack you. Now you can't really move your hand all the way from WASD to, for example, L in order to dodge. That's ridiculous, because by the time you do that you are already damaged by your enemy, unless you have a very gigantic hand, and now that's a completely different story. I'm telling you this because you can use the things I just told you to set your key bindings, not just in The Witcher 3 but in other games as well, and especially in RPGs. Anyways, now that you know the reason why we're using these key bindings, let's get to it. Okay, let's start with the most important key that we should be changing, and that is dodging. Now I personally use the button on the side of my mouse for this, not just in The Witcher 3 but in other games as well. It's just so easy to use. You can dodge in any direction you want without moving your hand, making you fast enough to be able to dodge any kind of attack. Now, if you don't have a button on the side of your mouse, just use one of the keys on your keyboard that you're comfortable with. For example, you can use V or Control. I personally recommend using the left control button if you don't have buttons on the side of your mouse. If you do that, it will replace the button for walking. As walking is not essential in a fight, you can use any keys you want for this action. You don't really have to use one of the keys that I showed you in the beginning of the video for it. You can use this key, for example. Another key that you would want to consider changing is lock on target. Lock on target is pretty important in 1v1 situations such as this. Its default button is set to Z, which is actually not that bad, but in my preference I would go for left alt key for this option. Left alt can be easily accessed without moving your hands from the WASD, so you won't stop moving and you won't become an easy target for your enemies. One last thing I would want you to know is that there are a lot of options down in this list that you can't really touch because these keys are locked to their default settings. Now, as you can see, there are some options here that are a little ridiculous, like a key just for accessing your Gwentik. You can easily access your Gwentik by literally pausing the game and selecting Gwentik, so you won't really need a key for it. Now, if there is a key in this list that you are looking to use for something a little more important, all you have to do is that you should click on this option down here called Unlock Bindings, and the locks will go away except for Quick Save. Now you can use any of these keys for any other option that you want. For example, I can set toggle sprint to K, but you should probably not do that because, I mean, why would anyone do that? From this point on, it comes down to personal preference really, because in my opinion this key binding is good enough to get you through anything if you get used to it. You can easily cast signs, attack, counter-attack, parry, and well, the list goes on. As I said in the beginning of the video, the key bindings are not really bad, they just need a little touch to make it better and easier to use, and that is what I was trying to do here. For example, some would like to do this and set their strong attack on right click and parrying and counter-attacking to left shift, or set one of the buttons on the side of their mouse to cast signs. But anyways, if you have anything else in mind that I could have said in this video to make this key binding better, make sure to let me know in the comment section. I would love to know your opinion. I hope that this was helpful to you. If it was, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Have a good hunting out there. Take care for now.